They've been around a long time and continue to be some of the most popular plugins in the audio engineering world today. I'm talking about Waves plugins, and today we're going over my top 5 favorite ones. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Emily Bowie. I'm a producer and engineer here in Nashville, Tennessee. Timestamps are available for your convenience, so feel free to skip around if needed. But if you would like to help support the channel, consider hitting the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So what are my favorite Waves plugins? Number 1, the L2. The L2 is a peak limiter, a level maximizer, and a high performance re-quantizer and dithering system called IDR, which stands for Increased Digital Resolution. In addition, the L2 software processor includes an ARC or auto release control system. And a lot of these features are designed more for mastering in mind. The overall operation of the L2 breaks down into 2 main areas: maximizing the level of the digital signal and to maximize resolution of the signal through dithering and noise shaping. For me, I'm using the L2 as a level maximizer, and I'm not really focused on the dithering features. The L2 is capable of a pretty fast response time, so it is able to significantly increase the average signal level without introducing any sort of type of distortion. An example of how this works is if my fingers were to represent the peak and my hand sort of the overall volume, the average level, what the L2 is doing is bringing up that signal to match the peaks, so that now we have brought up our entire overall level. Now it also has a peak control so that we're not going above what we have set on our ceiling. Something to keep in mind with the L2 is that this is only available as a stereo insert. This is why I like to put this on my group tracks, really just to bring up the level and not change any of the overall sound.
Come on, babe, that ain't me.
Number 2, the Infected Mushroom Pusher. This plugin has relatively few controls that are easily designed. You can either bring them in a little or a lot. You can control the overall input, and I recommend hitting the yellow light. If you're dancing around the red too much, I suggest pulling that back a little bit. The body enhances the lower mid-range, while the highs add brightness to the treble. And the magic control in the center enhances and boosts the dynamics of all frequencies. It also has 2 controls to adjust the focus and dynamic punch of that enhancement. There's not a real specific description of what it actually does, but the names give you a clue as to what to expect. Dynamic punch can really bring out drum hits, while focus adds a little brightness. The stereo imager brings out the stereo field in the high frequencies. I really like the stereo imager on this plugin. A lot of times I tend to start there first. Sometimes I just need to open it up a little bit. And it works great. You can add a little or a lot. The push allows for either clipping or limiting. Limiting gives the cleanest results, while moderate clipping can sound a little dirty and aggressive, but the lower clipping levels can result in a surprisingly clean sound. And the gain reduction meter next to the control shows how much processing is taking place, and the output does have a ceiling of -0.1. So regardless of how much drive you apply, things just get more compressed and dirtier the harder you push it.
Everybody's looking to see you, Mr. GQ.
Come on, babe, that ain't me.
I'm just here to play pool, singing karaoke in the back room.
In the back room?
You got your drink, now go sit down.
Okay.
Let me take it from here.
Go home, girl.
I'm just here to play pool, singing karaoke in the back room.
In the back room?
You got your drink, now go sit down.
Okay.
Let me take it from here.
Go home, girl.
Just pull up a chair, maybe that one over there. I think you'll love this crazy family.
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
I really like using this plugin on the mix bus. And because of the multi-band enhancement aspect of the plugin, it's possible to make some styles of music sound really loud without killing any of the dynamics. But I will typically use this on more modern sounding mixes, and I've actually used this in the mastering phase as well. It's always ready to go on my mixing templates. And speaking of mixing templates, if you are working in Pro Tools or Luna, I'd like to invite you to check out my mixing templates and my brand new mixing course. Using these templates gets you quicker professional sounding mixes, and the courses help you build your portfolio with the included multi-tracks, as well as an in-depth look at how I mix certain styles of music. It's also a really great way to help support the channel while learning great analog techniques that have all been adapted to work completely in the box. Alright, let's continue with our top 5. Number 3, Abbey Road plates. For me, it's hard to find reverb plugins that work how I need them to. A lot of times they just sound a little fake and unnatural. And for me, reverb is supposed to sound natural in music. And the Abbey Road plates do exactly that for me. This plugin was designed on the modeling of 4 modified EMT 140 plates that were used at Abbey Road, and I tend to lean towards the more original sound of reverb than the more modern digital sound design. There's a lot of great controls on this plugin that allow for a lot of customizing its reverb sound. Each of the plates are very different sounding, which gives you a lot of options to match the overall sound of the style of music that you are engineering. I have this reverb plugin on my mix template and use it just about every time. And a lot of times I will choose it over the Universal Audio's EMT 140. Number 4, the TG12345. I had to include an EQ plugin. And even though I don't use many Waves EQ plugins, I do reach back for this one ever so often because it really does sound great and can really add something unique sounding. The TG12345 is designed as a channel strip where you can have pre-EQ and dynamic sections of a VCA compressor. One of my favorite features is the combination switch that allows you to choose the order of those. Instead of a control labeled threshold, there is a hold knob. This sets a fixed DC voltage in the sidechain, and when the input signal level exceeds this level in the sidechain, gain reduction follows the signal. When the input is below this threshold, there is a fixed amount of gain reduction. This can provide for a smooth characteristic. It can also be set for a fairly aggressive compression as well. In use with the hold control at minimum, the entire signal range is subject to gain reduction. The recovery knob sets the release time with 6 options. This is similar to the Fairchild with 100 milliseconds, 250 milliseconds, 500 milliseconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, and 4 seconds. A high-pass filter in the sidechain only cuts below 90 Hertz, and there are several EQ points, which is always good in my book. It also has mid-side features. I think this is just a really cool sounding channel strip that you can use for a classic or vintage sound, and at the same time also use it for more modern sounding things. You know, it's not limited, it just depends on how you need to use it. For me, I like this on electric guitars and vocals, and as well on drums as an enhancer, and works great as parallel processing on that as well. And number 5, the RVox. Now, I do have a formula that I stick to with vocal processing. And if you follow me on this channel, you know that I'm always going to be using that parallel processing for my lead vocals. But I will always have the RVox ready to go in my template. I will usually have it on the lead vocal group track that has the outputs of those parallels running to it. This is to bring the lead vocal forward. And that's basically what this plugin is designed to do. The RVox isn't adding any harmonic distortion. Now, some of the things that are going on with this plugin are compression, gating, limiting, and level maximization all in this one plugin. There is a soft knee compressor with auto makeup gain, a gentle downward expander for noise gating, and then you have control over the whole output. It's kind of what the L2 is doing, but specifically designed for vocals. This is kind of that magic thing that's really going to push that lead vocal just above the rest of the music so that it sounds up front and in the middle. And it works basically every time.
I was drinking at my small town honky tonk. I figured it'd be easy for me. But then you walked in, that's when I knew you'd bring back every memory. All it took was one look in your eyes. That's when I knew there was a fire. Every time we touch, I feel so much like yesterday's teenage desire. Welcome to my home, away from home.
Now, I know I said that this was my top 5 favorite Waves plugins, but I have a bonus. I couldn't complete this video without including this plugin, and it's not necessarily my top 5 favorite, but it is a favorite. I just didn't include it in my top 5 because it's not something that I use every time. But that bonus plugin is the Abbey Road Vinyl. And like I said, I had to include this plugin because it's just super cool sounding. And it's neat to look at and push all the buttons and kind of see what combinations work. And if they don't, then get rid of it. It doesn't work on everything, but when it does, it really works. I think it adds a little bit more movement to a song and warmth. You can really add an old school vinyl sound with flutter and pops for specific effects like that. You can also really change the overall tone and characteristics of a song with choice of acetate master or printed vinyl pressing. There's 2 different types of turntables and 3 cartridges. It even has a slowdown setting to add sound effects of a record slowing down. This is something that I will put right before the last limiter on the mix bus. I've even had it on there for mastering. I think it's just a really cool plugin that should be used and talked about more. It can really give your mixes and masters a unique and nice vibe to set you apart from the common.
Welcome to my home, away from home. You're gonna love it here. You're the best damn family I've ever had. We can always find a right, so don't worry, they got your back. Here's some gentlemen jack, hanging with my friends at the Hardtails Bar and Grill.
Everybody's looking to see you, Mr. GQ.
Come on, babe, that ain't me.
I'm just here to play boo, singing karaoke in the back room.
In the back room?
You got your drink. Let me take it from here.
Go home, girl.
Just pull up a chair, maybe.
Let me know what you think about it. Is this a plugin that you use? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you use it for mixes or masterings? I think we should probably talk about this plugin a lot more. So let me know what you think. So there they are. These are my top 5 favorite Waves plugins and a special bonus plugin of the Abbey Road Vinyl. If you enjoyed this video and you found something helpful in it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like it. Also, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to check out the brand new mixing course and all of my templates. You can find those on my website at fairairmusic.com. I'll leave a link to that in the description. It's the best and quickest way to help support the channel, and it allows me to continue to bring you more content. All right, thanks y'all. We'll talk soon.